Sounds like Apple might finally be fixing iOS so that you can unlock your iPhone with a mask on, as long as you got an Apple Watch. Let's begin. So my goodness, Tim, it was about time. This has been, a running issue for a while. Thankfully, no one else is in here, so I'm good. But yeah, Face ID, I've always preferred over Touch ID just because I felt like I could naturally just pick up my phone and start using it, and I didn't have to touch it or rest my finger in a specific way, and I have sweaty hands in general, so Touch ID was always a lot less reliable for me in general. But of course, due to the pandemic, we've all been wearing stuff like this a lot more often, which is a shame because Apple has put all this work and all this machine learning energy into Face ID, but now it doesn't work super well with these on. I've actually heard a few people say that they've been able to set up an alternative appearance feature with the face mask on and it works for them, but sounds pretty miss as well. For some people it works, for some people it doesn't, but finally in iOS 14.5, Apple is directly addressing this and is now saying that if you have an Apple Watch with a 4-digit passcode and you have wrist detection turned on, for those who don't know, you need all of these same features enabled if you want to have Apple Pay on your Apple Watch. If you have all those things on, then basically, if you're wearing a mask, the iPhone will unlock pretty similarly to how the Apple Watch can unlock your Mac. So you'll get a little vibration notification on the Apple Watch, which this is also going to require watchOS 7.4 and of course iOS 14.5, both of which are in beta right now. So if you're watching this video and simultaneously going to the settings app and wondering, where's the software update? Why can't I get it? Unfortunately, it is only available in the form of a beta, and in general, I encourage people to be careful with watchOS betas because those have been known to brick certain watches. So if you don't want to mess around with the beta game, which you can sign up for on Apple's website, then just hang tight because it will most likely be rolling out to the public within a matter of a couple weeks. So you can't necessarily start using it right this second, but it is official. This is from Apple. This is not speculation or a leak or anything. And apparently, along with this feature, they are also rolling out the ability to lock the iPhone again from the Apple Watch, which in my opinion is really genius because some people's first impressions when they hear wait. So if your Apple Watch is unlocked and on your wrist, someone can just take their phone out of your hand and just unlock it and start using it and run off with your iPhone. Well, turns out with this feature, you can lock it again from the watch if the iPhone was unlocked and you didn't mean for it to be unlocked. And it's also worth mentioning that this new half unlock feature doesn't necessarily apply to iTunes and App Store purchases or Apple Pay. So at first I was like, well, this kind of sucks. If I want to use Apple Pay and I have my mask on, which most of the time if you're using Apple Pay you probably do, then it's not going to work because Apple Pay is still going to require full Face ID. It won't be happy if I'm wearing a mask. And to be completely honest with you, if you have an Apple Watch anyway, it's much easier in my opinion to just double tap the side button, tap the card reader and everything, and just pay directly instead of having to pull the phone out and double tap the side button and use Face ID. This is already unlocked, and this feels like a great alternative way for Apple to be like, okay, we have all these iPhones that have been selling really, really well. None of them have Touch ID, which who knows, maybe that's still being considered for the next iPhone. But we've got Face ID sensors on everything, which are rendered almost completely useless when people are wearing face masks. So using the Apple Watch, which is the most popular watch in the world, they're able to authenticate people with an extra step, which I think is really nice because I love being able to unlock my iMac with my Apple Watch, and I just wish they would bring that to more things, Let me unlock my iPad with my Apple Watch. Let me unlock my iPhone with my Apple Watch. And yeah, if it's accidental or if someone steals the iPhone out from under you, first of all, what a jerk move. But yeah, you'll have the little option toggle on the watch to be like, nope, actually lock that iPhone. I didn't want it to unlock. And this feels like a great workaround. This feels like a great solution for Apple to just be like, hey, Face ID can still technically work with a mask. You just need an Apple Watch. And yeah, I understand. Lots of us don't have Apple Watches or like, now Apple wants to sell me a solution for $200. Well, if I could say anything about the Apple Watch, it's that I have completely fallen in love with mine. You'll love the notification management. You'll love the activity tracking. You'll love being able to check texts or who's calling you really quickly from this. I know it might not be for everyone, but if I had to recommend you buy an Apple Watch, if you're considering getting one, get the SE. It's the most fastest, best looking one for the value. The Series 6 is just too expensive for what it is. The blood oxygen level stuff and the always on display, in my opinion, doesn't make that big a difference, but I'm grateful Apple is addressing the face mask thing. I just wish they would have addressed it, 6 or 7 months ago with something like this. It feels like Apple was like scratching their heads for a full year now. And they were like, how do we address this Face ID thing? And then suddenly Gary in the back was just like, hey, let's let the watch unlock it. And they were like, oh my God, Gary, you're getting a raise. And there's also other exciting things dropping with iOS 14.5. So they're also bringing support for the new PlayStation 5 controllers to iOS. They're bringing dual SIM 5G support, as well as AirPlay 2 connectivity for Apple Fitness Plus. If you buy an Apple Watch, you'll get 3 months of that, which I have still not redeemed. But yeah, 14.5 sounds like one of the biggest iOS upgrades since iOS 14 initially launched. And the face mask thing sounds like the most exciting thing, so that's why we're talking about it. But what do you guys think? Was this a great solution for us to keep using face masks and be using Face ID? And do you think Apple should still bring back Touch ID for those who don't want an Apple Watch, or would Apple rather have the approach, no, you don't need Touch ID, just keep using Apple Watches? Feel free to let me know your thoughts. This is your Apple Sheep here. I'll see you guys in the next one.